Our sportsNOLA.com trivia question of the evening is a good one. How many quarterbacks have won multiple Super Bowls? Is it 7, 9, 11, or 13? If you're an average student and you make C's, well, you did well. 11, and there they are. Troy Aikman, Tom Brady, Terry Bradshaw, John Elway, Bob Greasy, Eli Manning, Joe Montana, Jim Plunkett, Ben Roethlisberger, Bart Starr, and Roger Staubach all have won multiple Super Bowls. They have combined to win 28 of the 48 Super Bowls. And while defense wins championships, elite quarterbacks win championships. Russell Wilson can join that group if he wins Sunday, and that would be 29 out of 49. Wow. I rest my case. You have an elite quarterback, you win Super Bowls. And a good defense helps. It's time now for our hot seat segment where we put Brian Alley Walsh on the hot seat with a good topic of the day, and boy, do we have one today. Potential free agents or free agents to be. How will they be impacted by this ownership feud? Not just the NFL team, but the NBA team as well. The impact. Will it discourage people from re-signing or signing with either one of these organizations, the Saints or the Pelicans? Or is it much ado about nothing and the money's green wherever you go? Brian, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Trahan. After giving this careful consideration over the last 3 minutes, I believe that green speaks volumes. If you show him or her or anybody the money, they will come and play. This is not like coming to this city after Katrina, all right? These kind of family spats, although they don't happen all the time, it's part of the business empire, whether it be the NBA or the NFL. If the Saints, I'll start with the Saints here initially. If they find a free agent, believe me, Mickey Loomis, Dennis Lauscha, Mr. Benson, and Sean Payton are going to do their darndest to sell this to a free agent. I don't think it's going to have any effect on it whatsoever. That said, and the Pelicans are the same way. They will come to play for a winning franchise. This remains a stable franchise. It will remain a stable franchise, we hope, through all of this legal situation. But as long as it remains stable, as long as you've got stable football operations, stable basketball operations, and if you show them the money, they will come. The problem that I see, though, that said, is that this city can take a hit, okay, in the public eye, from a public relations standpoint, okay? And as Kenny alluded to earlier, once the NFL, once the Super Bowl plays out, this will become a major story. And this is where we, perhaps as a city, as a sports city, can incur some damage from a public relations standpoint. But look, money speaks volumes, and players will come play.
Amy?
I agree with you in terms of them coming to play. My point is not so much getting players that haven't played here before to sign. It's rather keeping the free agents that you want to stay if the organization is not in the place that it needs to be. And I think that in all of what has been written over the course of the last 5 days, one of the most disturbing facts to come out is the clause that Sean Payton had in his contract about the fact that if Mickey Loomis left, that he himself would be able to exit the franchise as well. So I think that in looking at this, I completely agree with Brian in the fact that players will play and come to a city because of money that is being offered. I think that we need to look at is that what do we do to make sure that they want to stay? And players that have to go through the turmoil that could possibly be created by what is happening with this family feud, then you're looking at a different situation. And that more than anything is what concerns me. And regardless, I think that if they are living in a situation where there is the constant bickering, then free agents that are already, or when they become free agents that played for either the Pelicans or the Saints, are going to look for another way out into a more stable situation, if that's the right word in this case.
Ricky?
Well, you know, I look at it as, you just case like Bird did last year. Guys gonna come here for the money, but as you're getting guys that is the best in the league to come here, and that's my thing. You know, you're gonna give out money to guys. You get guys all around the league, they'll come here, but as you're getting the best players to put you back in the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl, and that's what I look at more than anything.
You know, I was curious, Ricky, what you were going to say about this, because players do. if you polled the 60 players, or there are more than that right now connected with the organization, if you poll them, a lot of them probably don't have any idea of what's happening up in the front office, the second floor over at David Drive. A lot of them don't even know. A lot of it doesn't matter to them. And as long as you can focus the football element with these guys, a lot of them are just going to play ball and earn their money and hopefully put together a championship type season.
Right, and that's what they got to do over there. I mean, but one thing about guys, Mike, is not a whole lot of teams. And they got more than 4,000 or 5,000 guys trying to play.
Right.
So anytime, you know, they offer you a contract, you're going to take it because, you know, most teams got their players already. So if you got a chance to get on a team, you're going to take that money and go.
Yeah.
I mean, and just like, you know, you take, for instance, like I said about Bird and them, guys come from Buffalo.
Right.
They seen a big, you know, piece of the pie. You know, the older guys, they're going to take that money. So what the Saints got to do is make sure they're getting the right players to fit what they're doing.
But Ricky, Bird, just real quick, Bird came here because he wants to win a championship, and he felt that this, not only do they pay top dollar, but they
came up for that.
All right, but they give you an opportunity to win.
Good transition, as we say in the business. Good segue, because that would be my most salient point. Some people go for the money, some go to try to win. In some cases, they get both, and that's the ideal circumstance. I think it does have an impact. I think it depends on the individual, quite frankly. And I do think what Amy said is accurate, too, that it might impact the people you have on your teams right now under contract, whose contracts are pending, as compared to the ones on the outside who are looking for money. And here's why. Because if you know the situation and you are here, and I'll disagree with Brian a little bit, I think the people inside the walls do know what's going on, players included, and I think it had an impact on the Saints season this past year. I absolutely believe that. Not an excuse at all. It was an incredibly disappointing, flat season, but I do think they were impacted by this because people are walking on eggshells, and nobody knows if they're going to have a job next year. That includes the general manager and the coach, among others. And if you're a prospective free agent and you want to know who your bosses are, you want to know who the coach is. If you like the coach and you don't think he's going to be here and you're becoming a free agent, it might very well influence your decision. Ditto with the general manager. So I do think it matters. I think it's all about the individuals, though, because some individuals are motivated by nothing but the green. And Ricky's right, Brian's right. The green is the green everywhere, regardless of where you go or who owns the team. But ultimately, if you want a chance to win, you want stability. If you want stability, you want a coach that you know and that you're comfortable with. And that applies to the Pelicans, too. Anthony Davis will be the case study, because are they good enough around him? Will they stay good enough around him? Will he have the coach in place that he wants? And does he feel good about the franchise and its future? Chris Paul and David Waste obviously did not when they made their decisions when they were New Orleans Hornets. Back in just a moment to talk Pelicans on WHNO.